Hey everybody, Mike here at MH Tutorials. Welcome back. Well, guys, today we got a fairly interesting topic, and that topic is to create a spiral staircase, but without a centered column in the middle. Okay. Now, the reference that I received was that of the staircase in the Louvre in Paris. But to my understanding, the person that requested this wants to have kind of a fantasy scene where the spiral staircase goes up from the ground to a building in the sky somewhere. So I'm really looking forward to see that end result. So let's get started with our staircase. Now, there are a couple of things we need to deal with. We're going to create a bend deformer at some point. So it's important to know the rotation angle of your stairs to the left or to the right based on your initial setup, okay? So we're just gonna create a initial step, one step of our staircase. Just create a simple polygon cube, hit 5. Now, if you want to do some detailing to the steps, it's best to do that with the first one. So what we could do, for example, is just switch to our top view, go to Edit Mesh, insert edge loop. Actually, well, it will first put this guy in the middle. So go to Polycube and set all the translate values to 0. Makes it a bit easier, okay? Then we're going to go to Edit Mesh, insert edge loop, and we'll do one here, and we'll do one here, okay? We're going to switch back to our perspective view. Excuse me. Hit Q on your keyboard. And now what we can do, for example, is select these two edges and go to Edit Mesh and Bevel, which will kind of give this look. And it's pretty neat. All right. Now, we're going to take this guy, Object Mode, and we're going to start to duplicate that. So what we're going to do is we're going to switch to our side view. We're going to hit Control D to duplicate. Hit W. We're going to move that out. And we're going to pull that up. So here you need to determine, okay, how far up do I want this to go? Okay. As you can see, we've got a little gap here. It would be a fairly normal step size. I think in reality it'd be something more like this. So we'll do something in between, something like so. Okay. So we've got one copied, and now when we hit Shift D, it's going to copy the angle as well. Okay. So we're just going to do quite a few until we get something like this here. Excuse me. Okay. Now, with this step in mind, like I said, we're going to rotate this in an angle, right? From a top view, it's going to be curved into one direction. So everything that we need in that curve situation, we have to do now, all right? So we're gonna create the bars to hold on to the bottom section of the stairs and so forth, and then all of that is going to be uh, bent, okay, or rotated. Okay, so what we're going to do next is we're going to create a simple polygon cube. We're going to drag that out to something like that. We're going to go to our top view, hit W, get rid of that, and we're going to bring that in. F to zoom in. Let's do 5 for shaded mode, and we're going to bring that up to the top and hit F again. And we're going to hit R, and we're going to start to scale that in until it's sticking out at both sides, and I'll do 4 so you can see it a bit better. Okay. Oh, that's not what I wanted. There we go. Okay, hit W, pull it up a little bit. And now we're going to make that a little narrower. Okay. So we're going to go to this view. We're going to bring that way up hit F to zoom in. We're going to scale that in. And it doesn't have to be the exact measurement of the step there. We're going to hit W, we're going to move that over, pull that up, and then we're going to start to rotate that. So hit E, and we're going for a certain angle here. Now, in order to get the angle right, initially we're going to stretch that out, but we'll bring that back in a sec, okay? We're going to hit W, and we're going to align that with the corner here of that step. Hit E, and let's see if we can get that angle right. Okay, that is very close. So like I said, we're going to hit R again. We're going to bring that back. Maybe something like so. Hit W, bring that out, and bring that up to something like that. And actually, I promised on one of my previous videos that I wouldn't keep saying that, something like that, because that's annoying. So I'll do my very best not to do that again, okay? All right, let's copy this, Control D. Let's pull that down and pull that out. And just make sure that we got this same angle here, like so. All right. And now we're going to hit Shift D and copy that all the way down. And hopefully we did that in a way that it is clean enough. And it's not quite. So what we'll do is, just to make sure that it looks okay, we're going to select these, because this is very important that they are aligned. Okay, we're going to go to Mesh, Combine, and let's hit our Insert key on our keyboard, which will allow us to bring our pivot point over here and all the way up. And we're going to set our pivot point to this corner right there. We're going to hit E on our keyboard, and let's see if we can see it okay. That should be, yeah, perfect. Okay, and hit Q. So we got that. Now next, what we're going to do is we are going to take that object, hit W, and bring it down until our steps are clear. So check that from this view here. Let's do that. Just check it in a perspective view, make sure it looks okay. Yeah, pretty neat. All right, so what's next? We want to have a railing, okay? So we're going to take a simple polygon cylinder, something like that. Hit R, scale it in quite a bit, and stretch it out. Give it some subdivision, let's say 40. And we're going to position them on our first step. Hit F to zoom in. Where are our steps at? Over there. Hit W, bring them out. F to zoom in. Okay. Okay, so we got that one. Now that one is at 4629. So hit Control D to duplicate. Actually, before we do that, just check something here. That's fine. Okay, 4629. And I'm not sure if I already duplicated it. No, not yet. 4.629. Control D to duplicate. like he's not feeling like that. Now he is. And minus 4.629. Okay, we're gonna check our height. So let's go into this view here. We're in object mode. Get rid of that thing here. First, we're gonna bring them down, and preferably both. That looks about right. And maybe make them a bit shorter. Right-click vertex, drag select the top. And again, I want them both. So make sure we have them both. Right-click vertex. Yeah, we got them both. Okay. So let's bring that down a bit. Come on. There we go. Okay. So now that we got that, we're gonna right-click, go to object mode. We're gonna select these two, and we are going to hit Control D to duplicate. Move them over, and pull them up. Hit F to zoom in. Let's bring them down just a little, and then we're gonna hit Shift D all the way up. I think the top one looks okay. And for some reason it just copied that row, but that's fine. We'll just hit delete on this guy. And we'll take these, go to our top view, hit Control D, hit W, and move them over. Like that. And that should give us, yep, cool. Okay, now we'll take one of these, hit Control D. Actually, no, we're going to create a new one, and we're going to pull that out. And the reason why we're creating a new one is these will not be bent necessarily. This one will, so we need to make sure we have enough subdivision on that. Okay. So we're just going to check on 40 here, and let's do 40 here as well. Okay. Now let's get this guy into position. So we're going to hit E, we're going to rotate that a little bit. We're going to hit R, let's stretch that out. Hit W, and let's see how we're doing. Okay, we need to rotate it a bit more. And then hit W and bring that in. And we'll right click at the end here, go to vertex, drag select those. Actually, let's let that stick out a little bit. So we'll just bring it out like that and bring it down. Okay. Excuse me. So we got that. We're going to bring it in. So we're going to move that to right there. That's 4617. Control D. And let's make sure that this is aligned okay. Looks cool. Okay. So now what's next? We are going to start to bend this. So we're going to drag select the whole thing, mesh combine, modify center pivot. We are going to freeze transformations. And now this is really important, and I'll show you from our top view. When we start to deform this, right, the closer your pivot point is to your staircase, the narrower the curves will be, okay? So if you want it to be a wide angle, you need to move that over, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to hit the insert key, and we're going to bring that over to about here, okay? Now next, we are going to create our deformer. So go to your animation tab, create deformers, nonlinear, bend, and hit the option box. Go to edit and reset, just in case, and hit create. Now, this is where it gets tricky. First of all, we need to rotate our bend handle, okay? And we're going to hit E. Now, normally you would align it with your object, but in this case, we don't want that. We want this to be a horizontal line. The reason for that is we don't want our steps on our stair to deform. They have to stay horizontal, okay? So we're going to make sure that we're at 90, like that. And now let's see if we need to rotate that once again or not. So we're going to go to our bend tab. Okay, and that looks right. And now we need to determine what is the angle that we want when we're curving this. So I'll show you from our top view. If we want this to be at 90 degrees, and I'll just show you the perspective view as well, you'll get something like that, right? But let's say you want that to be more than 90 degrees. Let's say you want to do 180. So you get something like this. That's where you determine this, in this case right here. So let's do this. We'll leave it like that, okay? Now, before we do anything else, we're going to drag select the entire thing, go to Edit, Delete by Type, and History. So now it's an object on itself and by itself, okay? And if everything went correctly, all these are still vertical, right? These are deformed as they should be. And looks like we need to tweak just a little bit up here if we can. And we should be able to. And the reason why that happens, and I'll just separate mesh here, polygons, edit mesh, mesh separate. The reason why that happens is the curvature of this object here depends on the number of height subdivisions. If they're not enough, then it's not able to get to the degree that you want, right? So we can kind of tweak this a little bit. We don't want to mess it up, but let's see if we can. And I got something down there as well. I don't want that. Okay. I'll take that row as well. Okay. So we got that, right? Now there's one more thing you can do, which will give a nice effect here. And that is that we want the outer edge, this edge here, to drop down, okay? So what we can do there is go to Edge, right click Edge, come on, Object Mode, right click Edge. I'll just combine this thing again, Object Mode. Sometimes it just doesn't want to play ball. Object Mode, there we go. Mesh, combine. So what you can do is you can take this outer edge, right click Edge, and we're just going to select the ones on the outside. So what you can do when you got this whole outer edge selected is simply hit W and bring that down, which will give it a very cool effect, right? So you get that kind of idea. All right. So now one more thing. Let's say you want more than one curve because you want to cover a higher distance, if you will. Now, the curvature tool, the way I just showed you right now, you can't just keep on spiraling, right? So if you want to do that, what you have to do is select your entire object, hit Control D, pull it down, hit F to zoom in, and let's see if this will work out or not. And as you can see, we have a little gap that we need to cover. So modify center pivot. We should be able to get very close. Hit W, pull it up a little bit. And it probably will involve a little bit of tweaking, but this really looks very nice. So let's say this is our end result. Drag the whole deal, mesh, combine. I'll create a little scene for this, just so you get a sense of what it looks like. Hit F to zoom in. Let's bring that in to, let's say there. Check how that looks. Bring that down just a little bit, like so. Looks good. Okay. And let's create some sort of walkway up there. So we'll do something like this. Bring that in, bring that up. Check from our top view. And especially up here, it's kind of hard to see because in our top view, you can't see where the angle of the stairs are going. We're gonna have to zoom in again. Let's bring that guy over here, hit R, scale it in somewhat, and bring that up. And again, this is not necessarily important, but okay, so let's say that is your scene, all right? Now, I'm just gonna create some material here. Assign new material. Let's do a simple Lambert. Let's change that to white. We'll go to our render settings, go to mental ray, indirect lighting, physical sun and sky, select the global illumination, turn off final gathering. Gonna go to our quality tab. Let's do 1.5. Common tab. Let's do HD 720. And let's see where our sun is at. Window outliner, sun direction. We're going to hit 7 on our keyboard to see what our lighting is doing. And let's get a nice angle for our stairs here. And let's hit E and see what we're going for. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Let's see. Just looking for a nice angle. Maybe something like that. Just take this guy, scale it out a bit. Okay. And let's give this a go. Well, there we go. As you can see, if you're modeling something like this, you need to have a pretty big, pretty clear idea of how you're going to use it. I personally wouldn't curve it that much, but I just wanted to show you that you can do that. So this is pretty much the end result. If you guys got any questions, please let me know. Thank you guys for watching and see you guys next time. Bye.